My brother and cousin, just like used to play like N64 games all the time. We used to like play like Mario Party and just like the old Donkey Kong game, just like Pokemon Puzzle League, I think it was called. And it's like just a bunch of N64 games. And then like when I was growing up, we played like a bunch of console games. And then the cousin that grew up with us, he played a lot of games and he started playing WoW. And then it just like, I want to try this game. And I remember it was like 8 probably. And I made like a no more lock on his account. And I couldn't even get out of the inn because I was like so like new to games. It was like my first computer game ever. It was like an old Dell PC, didn't know what was going on. So I had to like call him downstairs to like help me get out of the inn, just like go grind kobolds. And I just like, in my second character after that, I played like a paladin in like the Goldshire mine. I literally just sat there for like hours killing mobs for like no reason because it's like, I don't even know what I was doing. It was pretty funny. Back then I started playing with my older brother. We just like raided a lot, did like 2v2 arenas, 3v3 arenas and stuff like that. We both wanted we were both really competitive when we played WoW. We just wanted the best gear possible. We wanted to be like the best at our class. We both played, there was a point where we both played healers too, so when we were raiding, so we both like competed like really hard. We just like there's like healing meters and stuff like that, and we just like try to be the best.
Yeah, we're super competitive. Like we don't play games with each other a lot anymore. We love playing games with each other, but we always get mad at each other like all the time we play. I remember we used to play World of Warcraft and we'd play arenas and we get into like fist fights over one 2v2 game after losing. I think there's one game somewhere on YouTube somewhere where I was playing Resurgy, he was playing Rogue, and we lost so bad. And I remember he like didn't smoke bombs. I was like, come on, why'd you not use it? He's like, you should have done this. And I was like, no, you should have done that. And it was just always get into fights over stupid stuff like that. I found League and I showed Sam and we just watched it. We didn't even play it for like the first 3 months. It was like pretty funny. So we were just watching it. I was like, why don't we just try and play it? He's like, yeah, why don't we? So we got into it and then we just had a lot of fun with it. It was just cool, all the different champion combinations, leveling up, getting different summoner spells, all the runes. It was just like a new experience. Like neither of us ever played a MOBA before it.
We used to do Eve Shaco bot lane and we used to do any Singe. We used to go like Clarity heal on any Singe. That's pretty funny. And then Eve used to have the 60-second stealth back then, so she was like really busted. And then Shaco was just like innately busted too. I don't know what his kit was, but he just really broken. So we just like did like random cheese bot lanes because nothing was like meta at the time. There wasn't like an 80 carries in sports, so we just like cheesed our way to like gold/plat when the season came out. But even before that, like my first memory was like realizing Teemo can actually put shrooms in the brush. So it's like, I didn't even know that was possible. I was like, what the hell is going on? I walked in the brush, it was like probably my first or second game, like what the hell is doing damage to me? I was like walked in like, what the fuck is going on? And then I like played Teemo for myself, I'm like, wait, this champ's busted. I had these like ups and downs when I played WoW in League. I actually like played WoW for like a year or so, and then I went like back to League. I was like never, because I was just playing games like when I was younger, like just for fun. So I just played whatever was like more appealing to me at the time. So if WoW was more fun, I just played more WoW. If League was more fun, I just played more League. And I just bounced back and forth probably like 3 or 4 years, probably when I was like 11 to 14. Like those were the years I just played whatever I wanted to. And then even probably 15. And then when it was like, I started getting like really good at League and just like realizing I could actually do this for a living, I started like putting way more time into League and just like dropping everything else like slowly. And then I started playing and I got my first team offer from a challenger team, and then I just like, okay, I actually can do this, so I'm gonna keep going at it until I get something out of it. So I guess I realized I was good at League when I got my first like real team offer. After like, it was my first challenger offer. It was the Storm. It was like when I was playing with Storm, like the mandatory cloud team, and they asked me to play. Like I was still like super new to the scene. I was even like, I didn't know anyone in the scene, or like I didn't really talk to much people in like competitive. So it was a pretty, even like it was like a small challenger team, it was still pretty big to me getting an offer. So after that I played and I was like doing really well in scrims, and I was like the kind of like the star player on that team in scrims, so I just realized I was like pretty good after that. And then I got the offer from Liquid after CLG Black didn't qualify for the Challenger Series, and then I just moved out here after that.
I'm Mitch Jackson, Team Liquid fan. My son is Samson Lourlo Jackson, top laner of Team Liquid. So Sam started playing video games and computer games when he was about age 10. I used to be on him, of course, as a father. Got to do your schoolwork. Finally, we went to a really big tournament at Iowa State. We live in Chicago. We actually flew in. My other two sons, Max is a professional Smite player. He actually was on the team. And we actually went at age 12. They won the tournament. And everybody was watching Sam Lourlo, as everybody knows him, as a top laner. And so that's how it all started. And that's when I realized really what potential he had. So I told him, at age 17, stay focused, enjoy what you're doing. Opportunities are gonna come at you. Live in the moment, appreciate what you have. You have a lot of support, and if you like what you do, you're gonna do it well and keep doing it. It's a great opportunity for him right now. I know it's not gonna be his entire life. You can't be a professional gamer your whole life, as I've seen many other people in the industry, but he can go on to be coaching, management, owner, go on to other IT-related, professional sports, or, Pentagon will probably be looking for him, who knows? There's a lot of other opportunities from this, and it's a great starting point for him. I'm happy for him. He's got an opportunity of a lifetime.
You just got to stay positive. That's like the biggest thing in esports. You got to stay positive. You got to have patience. If you want to make it in esports, you have to be a really patient person. And if you can't be patient, results are not going to come overnight. You got to work hard, and you got to grind, and you got to grind and grind and grind and practice and just get better.
Yeah, in the 2 months I've been here, I've made such a big improvement, I think, because at first I didn't take criticism well. I was I don't even know. I just didn't try to improve the best way I could. When I first got here, I was just looking for loopholes, and then after a month or so, maybe not even a month, maybe 2 weeks or so, I started taking everything to heart and just trying to be the best way I could for the team. In terms of hype or being the star player on a team, maybe I cared about it a little bit at first, but I just want to do what's best for the team and just have winning results is all I really care about, and just keep getting better with myself. I just want to, at end of this, even if people think I'm garbage, I know I can just keep improving, just be the best version of myself at the end of this.
But Sam does a really, really good job at taking the criticism and turning it into something that fuels him and gives him motivation to play better, because I know how good he is, and he knows how good he is, and he just has to translate that on the stage. And he works super hard, so just knowing that, I think he'll be okay. And whatever the community says, it doesn't matter. It's just what you do on stage. That's all that matters.
You have an ambition or a goal you want to accomplish in the future. Try to clarify that right now in your mind. Crystal clear. Okay, now we're going to practice focusing. So bring your attention to your breath, and when you notice you're distracted, it's the same as in the game. When you feel like you don't want to talk, when you feel furious and you want to get distracted by the past, when you're behind in lane and you don't know what to do, set that aside and focus on what you should be doing or what you can be doing to win or to learn.
Yeah, Loco is a really good coach. He definitely has his benefits and some weaknesses as well. He's really strong at just dealing with how to actually play the game, the macro sense and just the strategy behind it. But he's also weak in regards of dealing with the players on a personal level in some situations. It's he's not terrible, but he doesn't know the best way to handle it in some situations. That just comes with experience and I guess with the players more. After the O2 week, everyone's mindset was really everywhere. Everyone was not being as a team and stuff like that. And then bringing in someone like Weldon, a sports psychologist, definitely helped in those regards, dealing with the mental, so Loco could focus on the strategy of the game, and Weldon could focus on the mentality of the players. So it really helped in that regard. He just really pushed the team aspect of the things. We did a band of brothers activity. We tried to bond in a way we never did before, and we all just focused on actually being a team instead of just being a solo queue team, I guess.
For Team Liquid this week, what we've been working on mainly is actually communication. I mean, although I kind of do the same thing with many athletes that I work with, each team presents its own kind of biggest problem, and I try to address the thing that will make the most difference in just a short amount of time. So for Team Liquid, that was essentially they're kind of a fresh team if you think about it in terms of like the new people they have on the roster, although they have very experienced, you know, mid laner and AD carry. So I just tried to identify like what roles these new guys were having in the team communication and try to make that more emphatic.
Another thing he did, besides like upping our communication, just like getting everyone on the same page, he also helped us like be able to focus like 100% on the scrims. We did like meditation, we did like yoga, we did like a bunch of random activities just to like get everyone on the same page. And then we just went to scrims like every day. Like before we were going to scrims like some days like 20% of like focus, maybe like 40, and like another day like 80. But we like this whole week I think we went to scrims with like almost 100% like every time, and just like we got the most out of every scrim.
I think the most interesting activity has just been the exploration of team roles, like figuring out who in the team plays what role in terms of communication and leadership and mentorship, and understanding that and telling the players that, and then seeing them kind of realize like, oh, that's what's part I play in this system. And so while it works really well when we're winning, it kind of breaks down when we're losing. But now I know what to do when we're losing to kind of pull back the game, and I know what my role is. Aside from being a top laner or a mid laner or a support, you know, I can say like I'm also, you know, a spark plug or a nonverbal leader, or I represent this to my teammates.
At first, it was pretty hard to get adjusted to like a more tankier playstyle, because I've always been the kind of guy that wants to dominate my lane as best as I could. And with tanks, you can still do it, but you have to like find like the little opportunities you can, because with carries, you're usually picking like a counter matchup, and with tanks, it's usually like more consistent, or you're in a losing lane. So you have to like push your limits even harder as a tank to get the advantage you want, but as a carry, it just comes naturally usually. So I just had to like actually accept that I was like in a losing or like even lane role, like that's what I was adjusting to, and I had to like try to find like ways to push my limits the best I could in those situations.
One of the fun things working here has been that Loco Doco is the kind of coach who can really handle pressure and confrontation, and so the players, like the way that they're able to progress is through this awesome like back and forth, but sometimes it gets a bit aggressive, and so just like teaching some of the new guys basically that this kind of aggression, while it's good, like can be controlled and put to a purpose, and also helping them identify when the confrontation is good. We call that like productive tension, and when the confrontation is them just being defensive, which is completely useless. And that is essentially like something that you grow in terms of mental toughness. So I really love the amount of tension that this team can handle. It's fantastic. I see a lot of teams that are very fragile, but on the other hand, like that means that people can just be really lazy, and they can kind of like lash out even when it's useless. And so I want to teach them how to reserve that for themselves and kind of like grow their mental toughness, but still be able to confront each other when it's really important. And I was really astounded at how quickly Lourlo picked that up. That was pretty cool.
So yeah, scrims all week went like really well with Weldon. Like everyone was like 100% focused. Like our problem was in like even like Echo Fox game, and like the weeks before, we just like went down to the other team's level in a sense. We just like didn't play our own game ever, and just like when a team was worse than us, we just like played to that level. It was just like frustrating. So if we like our strength now, I think we just need to keep it consistent, just like keep playing our game, and then we'll just be good overall.
What the fuck? What are you doing, Josh? What are you doing? You should run double then.
Really?
You can't use bottle.
I can use. I promise.
You should use.
the Q.
You should use battlefield zone.
Close the distance after E fans. E auto close distance.
Watch this play. They call this one the scar. But Josh, back up or come near me.
Okay.
How do you do it? Oh, what the?
You just canceled your E.
How late do you have to do it? Do you know?
You have to cancel it at the end, I think.
Do not try that on stage.
You do all the work in your life. You work really hard every day to get to this point. And instead of thinking about what more that you want past it, like the win, what you should focus on is just being excited to have a chance to go on that stage, that you earned that through your hard work, and that just the opportunity to walk on stage should give you joy. So you should appreciate like what it feels like and pay attention to that, because in a few months, in a few years, that's going to be past. and all you'll have is your memory of being on that stage. You won't be there anymore. So if you really focus on experiencing it, on trying to have joy, not fun. Fun is different, but joy. Then that's really like how you unlock your ability to just give it your all, to be fully aggressive and fully in the moment.
Lourlo just, this will be the flash on 5 minutes. Nice mark. The shield goes on to mitigate some of the early damage, but he should be able to make it under the turret. Gets himself.
I got him.
Good shit.
Nice.
Nice. Niddly flash.
Good shit, buddy. Keep pulling. We're still pulling, buddy. Look at him cheering for you, buddy.
Let's fucking go, boys.
Nice job, dude.
I'm still going to try to mess with your jungle. We'll see how Fang can get back into this one. Gate taking quite a bit of damage. Great focus from Piglet and Matt. Mash is on the side trying to deal damage. Piglet doesn't even really see him. That double TP coming in. One is stopped. That's going to be Fang staying in the top lane. Oh. And both have been top. Another jungler died. Oh, this one is going to...
Damn, Dardock back at it again with those Lee skills.
Baron, it's more like they're trying to pull a fight in, but Twisted Face going to teleport in the backside.
Tempered Fate goes down, just Piglet was hit. Fang is there, whoa! Dardock flies straight through, Fang's in a 4v1, Dardock tries to fly back to help the team. Monsoon to get Fang out of the fight and take the rock down. What a ping pong of a fight. A magical journey means a double kill here for Piglet. Game coming in from Team Liquid after their 0-2 week and feeling pretty good about this one. A few more kills to rack up the stats. 607 for Phoenix on that one. And Liquid coming up with a very nice win. 27 minutes in, 18-3. Team Liquid takes down Team Impulse.
Yeah, and that's exactly the way that Team Liquid wants to start off this week. Coming in, they're right on the verge of losing that playoff spot. 5-7, tied with Echo Fox.
When I'm working with a team, I have full faith that they're going to 2-0 no matter what. And I go into the games, saying that and believing that. I think that there's 3 really strong leaders in the team right now. Phoenix, Dardock, and Matt. I think that they all kind of have their own roles and do a really good job of pulling out plays and pulling out consistent leadership and pulling out pressure. And then the side effect of that is when Piglet has something to say and he says it, like everybody listens, because he's silent some of the time. And then Lourlo does a really good job of kind of like fitting with the team, and we're trying to promote his leadership, his aggression to a point where he's calling for plays, and he's been really doing that a lot more this week.
Yeah, I think with the help of Weldon, the sports psychologist, I think he's done a lot. I was talking to him a little bit on Friday, and he said, yeah, he's been helping me a lot, and I just got to start translating more stuff from scrims and practice to stage, and if I can do that, we'll be a really good team. So I have a lot of confidence in the whole team. They're all really amazing, so it's just if they could translate what they're doing in practice onto the stage, they're going to do really good.
Like his numbers, Lourlo picking up a decent amount this turret though, and he's actually 1v2ing.
Everybody's taking turret shots, they're losing a lot of health, and now Doublelift gets a headbutt from Yellowstar to keep him safe. Lourlo, Anchor's gonna be back up soon. Phoenix comes in, gets the easy kill, and Yellowstar is certainly next. Why bother flashing? Yellowstar loses the summoner spell, double for Phoenix, and there's still more action. Matt wants in. Repel goes actually nowhere, except back onto the ground. Shockwave and Barrel Chain gets some damage, but guess what? They still want in, and Sven Skarin is gone. Officer down, and Team Liquid Liquid are still pushing in. The kick flash catches Hanser. He gets exercised, and down he goes into the Pokeball. TO, 4 kills in a row.
Whoa, that isn't a pretty start. Mistake on the other end, and he gets a chunk, but
Certainly can happen. So bot lane got pushed in, the turret's down below half HP, and now they wrap around mid. Constant, oh, that Q landed! Early flash by Pure,
on the wrong side, though.
But here comes the rest of the squad. Svenskeren misses the cocoon, and Dardock steals the red buff!
Oh my god! Dardock! Damn!
Bjergsen pushes it a bit forward, right under the turret wreckage. Svenskeren hooked in, low on health. Knockup comes through, there's the ulti for GP, the ball comes in, Shockwave does catch Piglet, but Gangplank's running down and Dardock kicks in another, and that's the kill onto Orianna. It's the fight they want, a 2-for-1 is good enough as they hook in Yellow Star. He's gone down, that's 4 kills for Liquid. This should be the game-winning fight, the game-winning...
Dog, we're just making it look like this meat! $1 million team.
Liquid will tie for 5th as a result here. And with 4 games to go, they can still move up.
If I can improve one thing on Liquid, it would be like a consistency with mentality, because on one day we're like super happy and just like the best team ever, and another day we're all down. But after Weldon came in this last week, it like definitely made us realize that our mentality can be consistent. It's just up to us to actually like put the effort in to make it consistent. So it's now on us to actually keep it consistent like throughout this next week and all the upcoming weeks. So yeah, I think our next 2 weeks is definitely going to be interesting, because I definitely want to get revenge on CLG, because I'm just like, I was on CLG Black, so I definitely want to get a game off them, but I definitely think we're going to end the split strong. We're definitely going to look to play as high as we can. I'm pretty sure that's 3rd, and I'm going to take everything I learned from Weldon and just like try to transition into the next coming weeks, and I think everyone else is going to do that as well. So I'm going to keep putting in the work and just try to show that we're like a really good team.
They got fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, feels good.
Tweet it.